Right, I'm trying to redo this video which we had because some parts were not recorded and there have been a lot of questions on C++. So during Zoom meeting with the grade 11s, we were looking at this question. Write a C++ program that will accept 3 numbers and later on display the biggest number. So we are going to write this again using a C++ compiler. Let me just share the screen for the same compiler. All right. So this is what we are going to use. So since we are trying to write a program to add to accept 3 numbers, you enter 3 numbers. And out of the 3 numbers that you've entered, the system must be able to display the biggest number. Like always, when you want to write a normal program, you should have variables. Variables are necessary and so very important in any programming languages. We declare variables in a program because they are not part of the compiler. The programs which are part of the compiler, we call them the reserved words. If a word is not part of the reserved words, then if it's entered into the system, it will crash the program. Hence, the reason of declaring a variable. It's to tell the compiler that I'm going to use this word, and this word as this data type. So let me declare 3 variables, which are numbers. And a number belongs to data type of integers. And the 3 numbers that we are going to declare, I chose to use the names num1 to stand for the first number I'm going to enter. Then the second number, I'll call it num2. And the last number, I'll call it num3. And all statements in C++ ends with a semicolon. So like this, I've declared the variable that I am going to use in this program. And that is num1, num2, and num3. Then I'll go ahead and I'll need now to enter the 3 numbers that I've just declared. And for me to be a good programmer, I'll need to tell the viewers of what is happening when the program is executing. So before someone can enter any number, the screen must prompt that user to see something like enter number. And all statements that displays item in C++ begins with the cout. Cout simply means print this on the screen. And cout always goes with 2 less than symbols. And the statements, if they are not words or if they are not numbers, they are supposed to be inside the inverted commas. Those characters which are not numbers, we call them strings in programming. And all strings must go inside the inverted commas. So it will go there inside the inverted commas, and it will tell the user to enter num1. The num1 that you're going to enter is the num1 that we declared. So now to enter that number, we use the cin statement. Cin goes with the double greater than symbols, and he would say num1. And one thing of interest at this stage is that num1 here is not in inverted commas. Why? Because now it has the meaning in this program. since it has been declared there. If it was not declared there, we cannot use it literally like this without inverted commas. So there now we have the license to use it however we want because the system will understand it. So what happens when we run this program is simply the program, first of all, will display something like enter num1. Let's experiment this. I'll compile this program. And if the program runs without the problems, it will, let me show you the output that it will display. There will come this output for me to enter num1. And I will be able to enter num1 and press the enter key. Nothing is going to happen because as at now, we haven't put the logic key to this program. So we need to add some fancy thing to our program so that it becomes a normal program. So when you say enter num1, we need to put a full colon there and a space so that there will be a space between the num1 that we are going to enter and the word num1 and the num that will be displayed on the screen. And from there, we can go on and enter the second number. We're going to enter now num2 there. And this will be the prompt for entering num2. And then we also need to enter the num3 and the prompt for us to enter the num3. Now, what we've done simply here is entering the numbers that we declared, num1, num2, num3. And if we happen to run this program, we'll simply enter the three numbers and nothing more that the program will do. Let's experiment with that. I'll click on compile and run. And let me share the output. Okay, so you see the space is there now. I can enter any number like 3, 2, and it will go to enter num2. I'll enter 3, it will go to enter now num3. I'll enter 4, and there the program ends because all we've done is entering those values, nothing more. Then let's move back to our program so that now we can put the logic to add the three numbers. So there we go. We need now to, to do the logic to compare the three numbers so that the system can display the biggest number. So we would say if, then we start comparing with the first variable, which is num1. That if num1 is greater than num2, we also need to compare it using these two symbols. They mean and. You can either type the word and there, but to be a fancy programmer, it's nice to use that and. The same num1, you're also going to compare it to num3. And if this statement is true that num1 is greater than num2 and num1 is greater than num3, then inside those braces, we are going to say cout. We're going to print followed by two less than symbols and the inverted commas, because now this is a string. In those inverted commas, we are going to say num1 is is the biggest. This will be displayed if the condition here is true. But what if the condition is not true? We will jump to the next comparison there. That will be if else. If else. We are using if else because there is one more comparison that needs to be done. Because at this time, we want to compare with num2. If num2 now is greater than num1 and num2 is greater than num3. So the first comparison there was done based on num1. The second one, we are using num2. If this statement is going to be true, we want inside those braces to display C out. Then we are going to display num2 is the biggest. And we'll terminate that. As well, if this condition is not true, that num1, num2 is not bigger than num1 and num3, we need to go to the last statement. And there we know what has remained now is one number, else. Since we know that only 3 is remaining, if num1 is not the biggest and num2 is not the biggest, then there is no need for us to compare for num3. We'll simply go there straight and tell the system that then display that C out. You're going to display that num3 is the biggest. And obviously this must be in inverted commas. So we'll get this because it's a string. We will need to make sure that it is inside the inverted commas and we'll terminate the program there. Now, just walking you through, we are trying to compare 3 numbers. For us to use those 3 numbers, we needed to declare them so that they don't crash the program because they are not part and parcel of the compiler. In short, they are not reserved words like C out and C in. I can freely use C out, C in. I can freely use if else, and else. And the system is not going to give me trouble because these are reserved words. Reserved words always has a meaning in a program. But num1 is not part of the reserved word. That's why for me to use it, I will need first to declare it. So since this program now is typed, there this statement only displays on the screen that enter num1. Any C in is going to give me a prompt where I should type. Then C out there is only giving me the prompt on the screen to enter num2. And there it's a prompt now for me to enter num2. After these numbers are entered, now do the first logic there, compare if num1 is bigger than num2 and if it's also bigger than num3. If this statement is not true, this statement cannot, this what is there cannot be, C out there cannot be displayed because this condition there is not true. It will jump to the next comparison there. It will take if now num2 is bigger than num1 and num3. If this statement is not true, it will jump this statement and it will look into the last comparison there. Obviously, 3 will be the biggest if num2 and num1 are not the biggest. So we will try to run this program. I'll compile there and run it. And we have a problem there. If else, let me just check what could be the problem. Let me try again. You still have a problem there. What is the problem? num1 is greater than, num2 is greater than num1, and num2 is greater than num3. Let's fix this error first. Where am I? Keyboard is not responding. Just a minute. Trying to make sure that the keyboard starts responding. Okay, I'll fix the keyboard and we go back there. So I started with the if instead of else if. And let's run this program now. Okay, it has run to completion. Let me just share with you the output there. Okay, the odd one. It's supposed to be this one there. Okay, so now it's saying enter num1. So I'll enter any number. I press the enter key, I'll enter the next number, the last number, 9. So I expect the system to say num1 is the biggest. I mean, num3 is the biggest, as you can see from the numbers that I entered. Now, let's finalize this program. So, for these variables to work well in my program, there are two issues at the top there. The include IO stream and using namespace are part and parcel of what is going on. Because this C out cannot even work possibly if I removed this. Let me remove it, and you see if I try to run it, it has detected that this is an error here. Why is it an error? Because I removed that namespace. And equally, if I remove that one, you'd find that I'll experience some errors. And it also takes me back to the same. So these two are vital part of the program. In real sense, include IO stream affect the C out and the C in statement. Then the using namespace STD is supposed to affect the variables. Variables cannot even be used when you don't have this type of a statement at the top. So always remember, this one is used to recognize the C in and C out statement. Then that one is used to recognize the variables that are in your program. So basically this what I tried to explain in the program, the meeting that we had. And I hope that it's going to answer most of your problems now. So I expect a good response from the assignment based on this second explanation. So for now, thank you very much. If you have a problem, you can contact me through my YouTube channel. Let me just try to share my YouTube channel before I can call it a day. Let me share it. YouTube channel. So in YouTube, just type there my name, Matthews Walia, and you're going to see my image there. just check from there and you'll be able to see most of the videos that I've done in the past. So thank you very much for today and have a blessed day. Bye.